Guys, thank you for joining me today for our first webinar session in the series Get That Job. I want to first introduce myself. My name is Jessica Calvert. I am currently the Quality Assurance Coordinator for the South Central Kentucky Workforce Development Board. This time last year, I was the Career Advisor Lead at the Kentucky Career Center. Previously, I worked with the Department of Education in the local school district where part of my job was to help youth transition into either post-secondary education or to prepare them to enter directly into the workforce after graduation. With 16 years experience, I am well aware of how stressful and somewhat overwhelming this transition can be. My goal for the Get That Job webinar series and through the help of Kentucky Career Edge, we will help support you in this transition and help you reach your career goals by preparing with the tools and information that you need. Today we're going to start the series off with resume and cover letter building. The learning objectives for this webinar is resume. The creation of a resume is usually a task that most people dread. Let me remind you that it's not where you start, but how you finish. Regardless of how you feel about your professional summary up to this date, there are always the opportunity to improve yourself and to build credentials that will provide a strong sense of accomplishment. With that being said, we're going to also review online presence and social media, and we're also going to go over cover letter and the importance of that. So what purpose does a resume serve? A resume is usually a digest of your qualifications that inform the employee of 5 things. Who you are, what you know, what you have done, and what you would like to do, and how you can benefit the employer. Resumes are usually a first impression. Usually resumes don't get candidates hired. You hear people say that mainly they serve the purpose to screen people out. There are 3 types of resumes, and they are listed here on this side. The chronological resume, which is job history from the most recent job backwards. The functional resume, which emphasizes your qualifications and credentials more than your job history. The last type of resume is the targeted resume, and it's usually tailored to a more specific employer and a more specific position. In today's competitive job market, I prefer the targeted resume because it is specific and it's not generic. Some basics on resume. The basic resume format would first be the identification, which is all of your information. The career objective, which includes the job title that you desire and the skills you have to initialize in the position. Your education, what will include your school, your certification degrees, your graduation, and list your GPA if it is 3.0 or above. It also lists your employment history, achievement, honors, or rewards. You could also list your personal interests, but we need to use discretion with that. And we also, it will include references, and we want to list that they're available upon request. Some tips for resumes are to sell yourself and your personality, to sell your abilities and your credentials, to highlight what you bring to the future of the company or the organization, and quantify achievements as much as possible. And while doing this, it's important to use some action or power words to describe your achievements. It's important that you start your sentences off with this. And they're very powerful when you use the word achieved, attained, demonstrated, introduced, or more designed, eliminated, increased. These action words really get the reader's attention. All right, remember that you'll never get a second chance to make that good impression unless the interviewer takes an interest in your resume. So it's very important to stand out. You want to portray yourself as a candidate who has a strong sense of self and stands out above the competition. Be concise. A resume provides the interviewer bare information, and that makes them want to meet you behind the scenes. Some resume do's and don'ts. Your resume should always be 1 to 2 page maximum. Resumes should be brief and to the point. And like I said, no more than 1 to 2 pages. I know sometimes people find that difficult to do. Unless you have a specific long-term history, usually 1 page will suffice. Make sure you verify accuracy of the information. Use buzzwords from your field. If you are sending your resume through the mail or you're delivering in person, make sure you select quality paper and printing. Also select one of the 3 styles that we previously discussed. We also want to be specific, and you want to start each sentence with those action words that we just discussed. Here's some don'ts. Of course, don't include false information. Don't include any irrelevant information. Don't be too wordy. Make sure you don't have any typos. Don't list any specific salaries at this point. Or don't list too many personal hobbies, and don't list direct references on your resume. I know, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to keep that resume down to 1 page, but I would suggest you edit items from your academics, your job experience, or your personal life that do not pertain to the targeted position. So you can ask yourself, if it doesn't help your cause, I would leave it out. Right now, before we go into cover letter, I also want to bring up that, this is definitely a crucial time in your life. We want to make sure that your voicemail messages is appropriate and professional. Also, we want to use an email address that is also professional. A professional email should only include your name. Make sure it doesn't include any other descriptive words or things that reference anything other than business. We're going to move now to cover letter. The purpose of the cover letter is to introduce you to the employer, to spark an interest in your potential value to the employer, and ultimately to get you an interview. The cover letter should identify the specific position you are interested in, and illustrate your skills and your training that you have for the effective performance. The cover letter should also ultimately motivate the reader to want you to meet you in person. Cover letter format. It's important that your cover letter be addressed to a specific contact. If you don't know, do your research and, LinkedIn or look at their website, brochures, things like that to find a specific contact that may be looking at your resume. Dear sir or ma'am is impersonal, and I would suggest you use a specific name. The introduction to the cover letter is the opening paragraph. It should automatically attract attention. This can be done by using the names of the person that referred you. You could refer to a specific job listing, or you could identify some unique talking point about the employer or the organization that you are applying for. The body of the letter should point out your value and answer the employer's #1 question: why should I hire you? Use language that the employer is familiar with. Like I said, you can research their website, brochures, or directly from the job description. Also, highlight and focus the most relevant qualifications that is listed in your resume. The closing paragraph is the action stage. Take the initiative and suggest arrangements for a specific interview date and time. Also, close by thanking the employer for considering your letter and your resume. And going over resume and cover letter, we have a very exciting toolkit, Kentucky Career Edge. It is available at no charge for all Kentuckians. Kentucky Career Edge is designed to support you in reaching your career goals by preparing you with the tools and information necessary to succeed. You can get started now by registering for your free account at KentuckyCareerEdge.com. You can set up your account within minutes. After your registration is complete, you will have full access to the toolkit. As you can see here, there is an interview, a simulator trainer, cover letter, mock job application, or e-portfolio, and a resume builder. We mainly focus today on resume building and cover letter building. The Career Edge Toolkit includes excellent resources for you to create your resume, and it will provide you step-by-step guidance into doing so. Like I said, when you are in this toolkit here, it will guide you into the three resume types. You can choose which one that best applies to you. And you will also be able to download your resume into different formats. And you will be able to download it into a Word document and save it. And this is your account, so you can go in and you can adjust your resume, update your resume at any point. It's a very, very nice toolkit, very easy to use. It is also mobile friendly, so that's definitely a plus. All right, guys, with any questions or comments regarding building your resume or building your cover letter, or any problems accessing Kentucky Career Edge or navigating through the system, please, please, please reach out to me at jessica@southcentralworkforce.com. I hope you join me soon for preparing for the interviewer in the second session of Get That Job webinar series. Thank you. Have a great day.